and some of the dangers are the truck drivers as well as the state police that are out there risking their lives every day. And I think it's really telling that the state troopers and state police are also opposing this increase in truck size and weights. We are joined this morning by Trooper Tom Brackin. He is the Vice President of the Delaware State Troopers Association and East Coordinator of the National Troopers Coalition. Thank you, Trooper Brackin, for joining us today.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. First, I'd like to recognize the survivors of these the tragedies that happen when there are crashes with these big trucks. Their courage and strength and willingness to continue to fight this fight for their loved ones is a source of inspiration for those of us who are standing with them and fighting with them. I'd also like to thank Representative McGovern, Senator Lautenberg, for standing up not just for the safety of the public, the motoring public, but for the safety of those troopers and those law enforcement professionals whose lives are put in danger by these big trucks as well. I stand here before you representing the National Troopers Coalition and its 30,000 trooper members. Also here with us in D.C. are troopers and law enforcement members from all over the country, including the states of Iowa, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Texas, Wisconsin, and South Carolina. Combined, the professional experience of these law enforcement professionals includes thousands of heavy truck inspections and heavy truck crash scene investigations. Let me be clear. The National Troopers Coalition and all law enforcement are united in its opposition to bigger trucks. We oppose the provisions in the House Transportation Bill that will allow longer trucks, triple trailer trucks, and heavier trucks. For my fellow law enforcement officers and I, it's a matter of saving lives. In addition to the many fatalities and injuries suffered by the public in truck crashes, we know that the #1 cause of death and injury to troopers and law enforcement officers is traffic accidents. Many of these involve big trucks. The trucking lobby says that bigger, heavier, longer trucks will make the roads safer. I can tell you, as a 24-year trooper, that's not the case. Just the opposite is true. Longer, heavier trucks will add to the dangers on the highway and lead to more deaths and more injuries. It can take these bigger rigs the length of almost 2 football fields to stop. At any given time, about 20% of the trucks on the road are running on brakes so far out of adjustment that the trucks are pulled out of service immediately when they're inspected on the highway. From a law enforcement perspective, adding even more weight to trucks, making them longer, and lifting the ban that outlaws triple trailers on most highways is a recipe for disaster. The Coalition Against Bigger Trucks has a video available for the press here today of what is referred to as the crack the whip effect, and you can see with triple trailers when they make an evasive maneuver what this effect is. The third trailer, as you look here, you see how long these trucks are in a scale model. That third trailer whips violently into the other traffic lanes where it can sweep other vehicles off the road, cause the truck itself to jackknife or roll over. For me, as a trooper, this effect also presents the chilling prospect of sweeping a trooper or a troop car off the road if this were to occur when that truck is passing a trooper on a car stop or investigating another accident along the highway. The other aspect that we have heard here today is the economic aspect. In this day of shrinking budgets and a philosophy in law enforcement of doing more with less, I question where the financial support for law enforcement to deal with these bigger trucks will come from. All of us in law enforcement are working at or below minimum staffing levels due to the budget constraints. Adding additional duties and responsibilities and regulatory functions would put an additional financial burden to the departments and to the states. I urge the members of Congress to take a look who is for bigger trucks and who's against them. On the one side, you have pretty big companies that stand to make a lot of money running longer and heavier trucks and claiming that they're safer. On the other side, you have the professional truck drivers represented by Mr. Hoffa, and you have the professional law enforcement officers and state troopers telling you from experience and knowledge that bigger trucks are more dangerous. It'll tell a lot to us about a member of Congress to see if he or she sides with big business on this or with the professionals who drive trucks for a living and patrol the roads to keep them safe. This is why those law enforcement officers that are with me have traveled to Washington today. We're here to tell Congress that law enforcement says no to bigger trucks. Thank you.